All right, folks, we're getting into the finals this afternoon. Right now we've got the mixed double in the G category already underway. Lane 1, a composite boat with ATL and CRC. Lane 2, Saugatuck. Lane 3, Texas Rowing. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lane 5, Minneapolis. Lane 6, PRC and PBC. I'd like to make the mention of the points trophy today. We've got a big battle going on in the overall points category between Minneapolis and Potomac. Minneapolis represented in this race in lane 5, wearing the signature green. In the G category, this race features average ages between 65 and 69. On the screen, Minneapolis in lane 5, rowing strong. As they cross the halfway point, the 500-meter mark. Not far behind, lane 2, Saugatuck, and lane 3, Texas. Saugatuck making a move. Yeah, it's the afternoons. These are finals, folks, for the medals. Get loud and show your team spirit. Check out the beer tent and try different strokes with the Gravel Bottom Brewery. They'll also be putting on a home brewing demonstration this afternoon. Check out their merchandise, t-shirts, and cups. Gravel Bottom Brewery. That's Minneapolis out in front as they enter the red sprint zone. That's lane 2, Saugatuck. In second place over lane 4, Lincoln Park. But the pack is still tight, folks, as they're sprinting to the finish in this G category race. The mixed double, featuring one man and one woman, coming to the finish line right now. First final of the day. At the finish, we've got Minneapolis. Well done. Followed by lane 2, Saugatuck. And lane 3, Texas Rowing. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. And lane 1, a composite with ATL CRC. Minneapolis there, contributing to their points total. Up next at the start, we've got the mixed 8 in the E category. Lane 1, Indianapolis B. Lane 2, Indianapolis A. Lane 3, Texas Rowing. We have a composite boat in lane 4, and lane 5, Northern Virginia. And lane 6, Genesee. These 8s are off in this E category race. E category average ages 55 to 59. The composite boat in lane 4, taking a strong stand at the start. The rest of the pack neck and neck. This is going to be an exciting race here. As 6 lanes of 8s charge down the field. On the screen, that's a composite boat in lane 4, led by Deborah Davis in the stroke seat. As they cross the halfway point and 500-meter mark. Looking crisp in the composite boat. Sure to get loud and get proud of your team as they approach the sprint zone. The last 250 meters of the race. It's exciting here. The composite boat still out in front with open water. Competition though in second place, USRowing staying strong. Boy, we've got 3 contenders for third. I don't know who it's going to be. Northern Virginia so far, but it's a tight one, folks. As they sprint to the finish, neck and neck, who's it going to be? Each stroke matters in the last 100 meters of the race here. As the composite boat takes it with open water, who else is going to be a medal contender? It's Texas just holding off Northern Virginia as the flotilla made a late charge. Already off. We've got another mixed state final. This is a C category race. Lane 1, Ann Arbor. Lane 2, St. Louis. Lane 3, San Diego Chinook. Lane 4, East Arm. Lane 5, Bay Verte. Lane 6, Genesee. Halfway through. That's lane 4, East Arm out in front. Looking not to be forgotten, we've got St. Louis in lane 2. As they enter the sprint zone, last 250 meters. Lane 4, East Arm. With a commanding lead, putting some open water in the sprint. That's St. Louis in lane 2. Battling with Genesee in lane 6 for that second spot. The rest of the contenders now far behind as they push to the finish here. Who's it going to be? Second and third, St. Louis and Genesee. Or is it Genesee and St. Louis? As East Arm crosses the finish line. Oh, I don't know, folks. From my angle, it looks like St. Louis barely edging out Genesee, but I don't know. That's a close call, Rob.
Jordan, that's definitely one you're going to have to want to head over to the Shimano tent and see the final for that one. See who's picking up the iron.
And laying down the strokes. As the women's AA4 lines up, We'd like to take a second to introduce ourselves. I'm Jordan Heffron.
I'm Rob Shea.
And we hosted a little bit of a pun competition earlier today. Just kind of want to talk about it a little bit. Rob, if you were going to have a boat, what would you name it?
So, I think if I was going to have a boat, I'd want a double, and I would want to call it Touche.
Touche, Rob Shea. Well played, sir. So as they approach the halfway point, not in the order of lead. Lane 1, we've got capital B. Lane 2, CRI-A. Lane 3, Lincoln Park A. Lane 4, Lincoln Park B. And Lane 5 is capital A. 2 capital boats and 2 Lincoln Park boats in this Women's Open 4 AA category. They're at the halfway point, and that's Lane 5 and Lane 3. Capital A in Lane 5, Lane 3, Lincoln Park A. In this race, we see average boat ages ranged between the AA category in Lincoln Park in Lane 3 of 22, and we see capital B in Lane 1 in category A of 29. They're in the sprint zone for the last 250 meters. And the Women's Open 4 AA category. Lincoln Park showing strong. Capital also showing strong. Battling for first and second in the sprint zone. Third place looks like Lincoln Park B. Followed by Capital B. Or is it? Battle for first and second. Capital A in Lane 5, Lincoln Park in Lane 3. We might have another photo finish here as Lincoln Park seems to be putting on the gas. Nice high stroke rate. Can it be maintained? And that's Lincoln Park. But it's close. Rob, another close finish.
That is very close. So, you know, some of the stuff we're seeing today starts crazy important. Right?
Starts crazy important.
And finishes. Like the last 10, 20 meters can be critical in these photo finishes.
Absolutely. That last push, so impressive. Because Capital A, I mean, they had a 2-seat lead over Lincoln Park here as they entered the 250-meter mark. But bringing up that stroke rate proved critically important for Lincoln Park, that last 150 meters. But it was a close call. Be sure to check the Shimano results tent for official results. Now on the course, the final for the men's lightweight single, I through J category. Lane 1, Lake Leelanau. Lane 2, Fort Worth. Lane 3, College, BC. Lane 4, Chester River. Lane 5, Island Lake. And Lane 6, Potomac. Strong starts out of Lane 5, Island Lake, and Lane 6, Potomac. Reminder, Potomac in the battle for the overall points trophy. So far we've got Potomac and Minneapolis duking it out.
So this is a lightweight race with men rowers weighing no more than 140 pounds. But if that was, 160 pounds. But what's crazy impressive about this is the age category here. This is I and J. So we have rowers at this event aged 75 to 84.
Yeah, check out Arnold Land in lane 1. Looking strong, 83 years young. And Richard Kendall, lane 3, 84 years young.
Crushing it.
And they're already to the 500-meter mark, Rob.
He's flying, man. He is flying.
That's lane 6, Potomac, cruising. Cal Sutliff.
Here they come. Everybody get down to the shore and cheer these guys on.
This is what Masters National is all about, folks. We've got a nice competitive pack here. Men's lightweight I through J category.
We got a battle going on in this race.
We do. That we do. Both I and J categories represented in this race. Cheer them on, folks. They're in the last 250 meters. That's right. Let them know how awesome they're doing out there. Lane 6, Cal Sutliff, trailed by Island Lake. In lane 5, Ralph Mactelo.
The form and the power demonstrated by these masters, absolutely amazing.
I'm really impressed, Rob. And Cal putting on the sprint with 100 meters left.
Not taking this one for granted.
He's trying to pull away. And there goes Cal from Potomac. Followed by Island Lake. Ralph Mactelo. Both in the I category. Let's make sure we make some noise.
Crossing now in lane 4 from Chester River, Mickey Ellsberg.
In lane 3, Richard Kendall.
And in lane 2, Lee Smith.
Boy, Lee was right on top of him there.
Heading down the course now, event number 156. The Women's Club 4. Categories F.
That's Arnold on the race course. Go, Arnold. Out of Lake Leelanau, lane 1, Arnold Land. Big cheers for Arnold out there.
In lane 1, Western Reserve. Lane 2, San Diego. Lane 3, CRI. In lane 4, Saugatuck. In lane 5, the Upper Peninsula. In lane 6, Rocket City.
Let's not forget, Saugatuck still in contention. Currently they were sitting in a 3 spot for the overall points trophy earlier today. So keep your eye on Saugatuck. You know, I hope people have really been enjoying their local accommodations. But this is the women's club F through J category. These boys are cruising into the sprint here. Check out lane 3, CRI, putting it on and increasing their open water over the rest of the pack. Lane 4, Saugatuck, battling it out with Western Reserve. In lane 1. And look at CRI, laying it down. Strong drives every stroke. You can almost feel the power by watching them on the screen, Rob.
Great power, great technique, nice clean run.
All these boats are in the F category, average age is 60 to 63. And that's CRI crossing the finish line with open water on the rest of the pack.
A decisive win.
Followed by lane 4, Saugatuck, and lane 1, Western Reserve.
Very competitive, very tight for third there.
Already underway, the men's heavyweight double category F final. Lane 1, Duluth. Lane 2, Palm Beach. Lane 3, San Diego. Lane 4, GMS Composite with local rowing legend Rick Anderson. Lane 5, Saugatuck. And lane 6, Dallas.
I think he should have his name legally changed.
To local rowing legend?
Yes, local rowing legend. So if anybody needs to bug out of here to the airport this afternoon, and you're looking for a way to go, your local organizing committee has a few, about 20, free seats on shuttles heading out to the airport this afternoon.
What time are they headed out, Rob?
We've got 3 shuttles heading to the airport. Those leave at 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 5 p.m.
And how much does it cost?
It's absolutely free.
And who organized that?
That is compliments of the local organizing committee. But there's only about 20 on each shuttle, 20 seats. So first come, first serve. If you're interested, head down to the volunteer tent, the yellow and white tent across from registration, and sign up now for your free shuttle to GRR. That's the airport, not Grand Rapids Rowing, by the way.
Boy, these doubles are flying as they enter the sprint zone. Lane 4 out in front, being chased by lane 1, Duluth. Well, lane 4 putting on open water in the sprint zone with local rowing legend Rick Anderson. They are moving. Lane 1, Duluth, putting it on. But let's not forget about lane 6, Dallas. as they move into the finish here. Who's it going to be? Last 10 strokes. Seeing Long and Strong out of the composite boat in lane 4. That's lane 4. You know who's in the bow of that boat, Rob?
A winner.
Followed by lane 1, Duluth. And lane 6, Dallas, coming in third.
I would dispute your characterization, as a local rowing legend, but the guy keeps winning races. So
I know.
Lining up now at the starting line. Event number 158, the final for Women's Open 4 in the D category. And they're off. Lane 1, Annapolis. Lane 2, Saugatuck. Lane 3, a composite boat with BIAC. Lane 4, a composite boat with CPR. Lane 5, San Diego. And Lane 6, Duluth. Off to an early lead by just a few feet, San Diego.
Lane 5, San Diego. And lane 4, composite with CPR. Showing strong here early on in the race. Lane 4 putting on a push. Composite with CPR. Just passing the 500-meter halfway mark of the race. Here they come. Get ready to get loud and be excited for the Women's Open 4 in the D category. We see lane 5. Well, that's lane 4 CPR. Holding off the pack. Lane 5 San Diego. And close, we've got the composite in lane 3. Battling with lane 5. Lane 2 Saugatuck also in the hunt. Lane 5, San Diego. Lane 3, Composite BIC. And Lane 2, Saugatuck. All neck and neck for that second spot. And that's San Diego making a move on the composite boat from CPR for first place. Wow, they've really stepped it up. They're coming up to the finish line here, and I don't know who it's going to be. Can San Diego keep their momentum? Looks like CPR trying to hold them off. Oh, gaining ground. What a move by San Diego at that 250-meter mark. But CPR starting to pull away in the last 10 strokes of the race. And that's CPR, San Diego, and the composite. Wow. That was an exciting race. Up next, event 159, the men's heavyweight 8D category. Lane 2, Texas Rowing. Lane 3, San Diego. We've got a composite in lane 4, and Indianapolis in lane 5. Out of the gate, the composite in lane 4, a 2-seat lead over the rest of the pack. Lanes 1, Texas. Lane 2, San Diego, also looking strong.
Hey, Jordan, while we're early in this race, let's take a quick look at one of our entries in the Sunday Punday.
Oh, there we have it, folks. That's double entendre.
I get it.
I'd like to get stroked in that boat.
Okay, I'm not going to touch that, but we'll share a few more of these before we announce the winner. Quick lost and found announcement. Lost a pair of gray wraparound sunglasses with blue reflective lens. Found in the lost in the beer tent Thursday evening. I don't know how that could have happened.
Me either.
If you find them, please return to the lost and found in the volunteer tent across from registration.
Check out that composite boat in lane 4 in this D category race. They are cruising. Dallas in lane 2, staying strong.
Also, another quick lost and found announcement. Found a pink Princess water bottle. Oh, that might be mine.
Excuse me, that's not Dallas in lane 2. That's Texas Rowing in lane 2 from the Lone Star State. So we've got that composite cruising as they sprint to the finish. Texas Rowing showing their strength. Can they pick it up? Boy, Texas and that composite boat looking strong with a decisive lead over the third place San Diego. Boy, they looked strong, and they're looking stronger in the last 100 meters of the race here. That's the composite boat in lane 4. And Texas Rowing in lane 2. And San Diego staying classy in lane 3.
Gearing up at the start now. Event number 160. The Women's Club 4 in the B category in this event. Lane 1, Minneapolis. Lane 2, Western Reserve. And they're off in Lane 3, Carnegie Lake. Lane 4, Western Reserve A. Lane 5, Ann Arbor B. Lane 6, Ann Arbor A. So we got 2 Western Reserve and 2 Ann Arbor shells in this race.
Boy, we saw the camera zoomed on lane 2 there. Little flub off the start. But still looking strong, able to recover.
Slight lead by just a couple feet in Lane 3, Carnegie Lake. Jordan, let's take a quick peek at another one of our entries in today's Sunday Punday.
This is Endeavor. They also had a little line to go with this one.
Endeavor, I didn't even know her.
Oh! Sunday Punday.
All righty, now back to the action.
That's lane 6 and 4 out there. Lane 6, Ann Arbor. Lane 4, Western Reserve. Let's not forget about Carnegie Lake in lane 3. As they approach the 500-meter mark. Looks like Western Reserve and Carnegie Lake now putting on a move, trying to separate from the pack. We've got Western Reserve in lane 4, Carnegie Lake in lane 3 with the orange. But let's not forget about our Minneapolis women up here in lane 1. In lane 6, Ann Arbor. Minneapolis and Ann Arbor neck and neck. But we've got Carnegie Lake out in front, followed by Western Reserve. But that battle for third between Minneapolis and Ann Arbor is heating up in the last 150 meters. Oh, is that Ann Arbor putting on a move? Oh, we've got a tight battle here.
Wow, this is
First and second.
very close coming into the finish.
Lane 4, Western Reserve and Carnegie Lake. In lane
Look at
3.
that sprint! Look at the sprint!
Putting on the sprint here. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Oh, is that Carnegie Lake?
They're pulling ahead!
Pulling ahead, Carnegie Lake showing some strength in the sprint. Carnegie Lake, lane 3.
Wow.
Lane 4, Western Reserve. Oh, and who? Is it Minneapolis or is it Ann Arbor?
That's a huge push at the end by Minneapolis.
Wow.
In lane 1, Ann Arbor in lane 6. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Nice push by Carnegie Lake into the finish there. Very impressive, Rob.
Off to the start, from the start now, event number 161, the men's heavyweight single in the B category. In lane 1, Lincoln Park. Lane 2, White Rock. Lane 3, Potomac. Lane 4, Casadilla. Lane 5, Capitol. And lane 6, Cape Coral. All right, Jordan, let's take a quick peek at another Sunday Punday.
Oh, the Scumbuster.
I wonder what kind of water they're...
I don't know, but I don't think I'd want to swim in it, Rob.
I don't think so.
On our screens, we're seeing lane 6, Cape Coral, in the men's heavyweight single. Julio Sanchez pulling strong halfway through, followed by lane 4, Martin Vanderhyde from Cascadia. Also looking strong, lane 2, Thomas Carr from White Rock. You know, in these singles, we'll see some really dynamic sprints at the finish here. Always exciting to watch a sprint in a single.
Nobody else is going to get it done. Nobody else is going to get it done for you in a single.
And that's lane 6. Julio Sanchez from Cape Coral out in the lead. Bow to stern with Vanderhyde from Cascadia. And Thomas Carr, White Rock, in lane 2. Julio looking strong. He sprints to the finish here in the final meters of the race. But it's neck and neck between lane 4, Vanderhyde, and lane 2, Carr. Who's it going to be? Oh, looks like Vanderhyde just edging out Carr as they sprinted to the finish line there.
Razor thin.
For those razor thin margins, make sure that you check out the Shimano results tent.
Now just off the start, in event number 162, the mixed quad in the A category. Lane 2, composite. Lane 3, Texas rowing. Lane 4, Austin. Lane 5, composite. Lane 6, Greater Columbus.
All right, let's start. We've got lane 4. Well, lane 6, Greater Columbus, really. Showing a really strong start.
All right, Jordan, let's take a quick peek at our Sunday Punday. You know what? I'm going to call this one the winner. You know why? Because this one is from Paula and Steve Engelhart, and the name of the boat,
The PS Row Hard.
Congratulations, Paula and Steve. Stop by the Grand Rapids Junior Boosters to pick your free $5 worth of concessions.
Nice job on Sunday Punday here in Riverside Park. And that's Greater Columbus there in the orange, looking strong in lane 6. As they cross the 500-meter mark, halfway point in the race. Hey, these are finals, folks. They're for the titles. This is the mixed 4, featuring 2 men and 2 women in the quad. And that's Greater Columbus in the orange as they approach, sprinting in the red zone in the last 250 meters. It's a tight pack for second and third here between the composite and lane 2 featuring Atlanta. Boy, and I don't know who's in fourth. I don't know who's in third. As the 2 Texas teams, Austin, lane 4, Texas, lane 3, battling it out for that third spot.
Who wants the medal more? Now's the time to find out.
And that's Greater Columbus crossing the finish line in the orange. Well done. Putting some open water on the crowd. And the composite in lane 2. And lane 4, Austin, was able to pull away from Texas, and the composite in lane 5 to round out the top 3 in the mixed 4. We'd like to thank our national sponsors for this event: Boathouse Sports, Shimano, Nielsen Kellerman, The Rudy Project, Connect-A-Dock, Regatta Central, JL Designs, Hudson Boatworks, Concept 2, Croker Oars, San Diego Crew Classic, Braca Sport, Vespoli USA, Coach Kaler, Row for the Cure, Cash for Racing Shells, Moss Boat Company, and Filippi Elite Rowing.
Just off the start now, in event number 164, the H category of the mixed double. In lane 1, San Diego. Lane 2, Atlanta. Lane 3, Composite. Lane 4, Midnight Sun. And lane 5, Fairmount. Off to an early jump, San Diego, followed by Fairmount.
That's lane 3 out in front. Composite with Martha's Moms and Saugatuck. This H category race. Category H featuring an average boat age between 70 and 74. Also looking strong out there in lane 5, Fairmount. In lane 2, Atlanta. That's lane 3, Martha's Moms and Saugatuck out there in front. Just trailing, Fairmount in lane 5. Midnight Sun showing strong. They might be taking that second spot right now in the final sprints of the race. But Atlanta also in the hunt. Really tight. All the way from second to fourth. But they're coming up on the lead here. The pack edging up on lane 3, Moms and Saugatuck, as they approach the finish line. Lane 5, Fairmount really looking strong, but Midnight Sun hanging in there. Who's it going to be? Oh, pulling away, Moms and Saugatuck in lane 3. And it's going to be Midnight Sun putting on the gas to get to the silver spot. Followed by Fairmount in lane 5. Wow. Some really dynamic finishes here, Rob.
Looks like they'll be heading back to Alaska with a silver. Now in event 164, in the I category, heading down the course, the mixed double. In lane 3, Potomac. In lane 4, Saugatuck.
Earlier in the day, we saw that both of these teams, Potomac, Saugatuck, and let's not forget Minneapolis, all in contention for that overall points trophy.
And here we have, fighting for it, competitors in the I category with an average age from Potomac of 78 and Saugatuck an average age of 75.
With the last day of rowing here in the park, make sure that we pick up all of our trash and put it in the designated areas. Help keep the park clean here in Grand Rapids.
If you haven't had a chance yet, you're definitely going to want to spend some time today down in the beer garden. Don't miss this great venue. Today, featuring Gravel Bottom Craft Brewery from Ada, Michigan. The beer garden open today till 6 with excellent viewing of today's regatta.
While you're there, make sure to pick up some 50-50 raffle tickets from the West Michigan Sports Commission.
They've also got a program available for only $1 with some great information about this event.
And I think you might find a coupon in the back for a free donut from Tim Hortons.
Thank you.
In the last 250 meters here, that's Potomac out in front. Cheer them on, folks. Average age in that boat, 78. Leading their younger competitor, Saugatuck. This is the mixed double we see here, categories I through J. And that's category I, Potomac, taking it. Average age, 78. Well done, Potomac. And that's Saugatuck crossing the finish line. Well done, Masters.
Thanks to the students and staff of Ferris State University, television and digital media production for live coverage of this regatta, which is also being live streamed on YouTube at youtube.com/USRowing.org. Rowing in Grand Rapids dates back to the 1880s. The first boathouse for the city's rowing club, then called the Grand Rapids Boat and Canoe Club, was built in 1910. That's like, that's like 104 years ago or something. Right?
I'm no mathlete, Rob, but I think you're right.
All right. The Grand Rapids Rowing Association was incorporated in 1986 and runs high school, corporate, adult recreational, and competitive rowing programs, as well as the ever-popular Learn to Row class. It hosts several regattas each year. For more information about the Grand Rapids Rowing Association and how you Grand Rapids residents can join up, visit grrowing.org or stop by the Grand Rapids Junior Booster Tent in the Vendor Village. Just off the blocks now, event number 165. The Men's Club Quad in the A category.
Good show, Camilla. Nice job, you guys. Great. Good job.
Lane 3 is Austin, Lane 4 Potomac, and Lane 5 Lincoln Park.
Lane 4 Potomac off to a one-seat lead in the first 100 meters of the race.
Have you liked the announcing today?
It's hit and miss.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But they nailed it on the beer garden. Well, if you think that's true, let us know at 2014nationals.us/feedback.
Actually, if you'd like to fly Jordan and I in to your local regatta, we definitely would clear our schedule.
Absolutely. Boy, look at the men from Potomac there. Really pulling away from the rest of the pack. Halfway through this 1,000-meter sprint.
Potomac pouring on the points in their hunt for the men's and overall trophies. They're zooming into the final 200 meters of the course.
And in second place, that's Lincoln Park. out in lane 5. As they sprint to the finish here. Last 200 meters of the race. And that's Potomac. Crossing first. Lincoln Park in lane 5. And Austin in lane 3.
Lining up on the blocks now for event number 165, the final for the men's club quad in the B through D categories. In lane 1, CRI. Lane 2, San Diego. Lane 3, Virginia. And lane 5, Chicago Training.
This will be a fun one to watch out there on the river. We've got a diverse group of ages here in these quads. You know, the youngest group out there in lane 5, average age 38. And their elders in lane 2, average age 55. From the CRI.
Shooting down the first 100 meters of the course now. Out to an early lead in lane 5, Chicago, followed closely by Virginia. Luke Stritchling, please report to the registration tent. Luke Stritchling, please report to the registration tent.
That's lane 5. The youngsters from Chicago Training. They're entering the last 250 meters of the race. And they're stepping on the gas. You can see them picking up that stroke rate as they enter the final sprint.
Not taking anything for granted.
They're being chased by Virginia in lane 4. In the closest lane, we see CRI, followed by San Diego. Chicago Training crossing the finish line now. Men's Club Quad. Followed by Virginia, lane 4. And CRI, lane 2. and Virginia in lane 4. Up next, we've got the men's lightweight double in the G category. 3 boats in this race. Lane 3, Saugatuck. Lane 4, Berkeley. Lane 5, an AARC and Detroit Boat Club composite. This G category race featuring athlete average age between 65 and 69. Lightweight for men. Less than 160 pounds. That's lane 4, Berkeley, looking strong as they near the 500-meter mark in the course. Now entering the final 250 meters, the men's lightweight double, event 166, category G. Ages 65 to 69. Lane 4, Berkeley, with a commanding lead over the composite boat in lane 5 with the Detroit Boat Club. Then we have lane 3, Saugatuck, rounding out the pack. And that's lane 4, Berkeley, crossing the finish line. And lane 5, the composite boat with the Detroit Boat Club. And lane 3, Saugatuck. Got a big race up next, the women's open the women's open quad in the E category. 6 lanes in this race. Lane 1, Minneapolis. Lane 2 is a CRC CPR boat. Lane 3, Potomac. Lane 4, Saugatuck. Lane 5, Baltimore. Lane 6, Genesee in the women's open quad E category. The E category Features an average boat age between 55 and 59. And they're off in the women's open quad E category. Quad featuring 4 scullers, 8 oars per boat. Strong start out of lanes 1 and 5. Lane 1, Minneapolis. Really showing their strength here. Keep an eye on Minneapolis in the green. Lane 5 also had a strong start. That's Baltimore. Look at that technique out of the Minneapolis boat. Beautiful strokes. Shown onto the quad from Minneapolis, led by stroke seat Kristen Miller. That's lane 1, Minneapolis. With the 7 bow marker, that's actually lane 5, Baltimore. Minneapolis trying to extend that lead at the 500-meter mark. We've said it before, Minneapolis in the hunt for the points trophy. These quads, the largest sculling boat, entering the final 250 meters, the sprint zone of the race. All the training coming into this moment as Minneapolis picks up the pace, adding open water on the rest of the pack. That's Baltimore in second out there. But the composite boats, CPR and CRC, pulling up on Baltimore. It's a battle for second here between Baltimore and CRC as they sprint to the finish in the women's open quad. Minneapolis in the green in lane 1. That's Baltimore out there in lane 5. Minneapolis holding off the pack. Baltimore. And the composite CRC CPR. Wow, the top 3 really putting distance on the rest of the pack in the last 250 meters. Already underway is the men's lightweight double in the E category. Lane 1, OKC Riversport. Lane 2, San Diego. Lane 3, BRC. Lane 4, BHBC. Lane 5, Toledo. Lane 6, Composite with the Detroit Boat Club. A few composite boats in this race. A composite boat is a boat with members from different rowing clubs. That's lane 3, a composite boat with BRC out in front early on. That's the last, they're in the last 250 meters of the race, folks. These guys haul down the race course. Lane 3, the composite with BRC, has a commanding lead over the rest of the pack. First place, lane 3, composite with BRC. Oh, and it's close. Looks like lane 4, the composite BHBC, just edging out lane 1, OKC Riversport. Next up, we've got the women's lightweight single in the C category, featuring lane 2, Rocket City, lane 3, Dallas, and lane 4, Carnegie Lake. Lane 2, Rocket City, with the signature yellow. Lane 3, Dallas, with the Lone Star oars. And lane 4, Carnegie Lake, with the black and orange. We've got Dallas out to an early lead. Lane 3. This is a lightweight race featuring athletes weighing no more than 130 pounds and the women's lightweight single. Just crossing the halfway point is Dallas in the lead at event 169. Women's lightweight single C category. That's Amy Molinar out in the lead, representing Dallas with the Lone Star oars. In the last 200 meters, as they pour on the sprint. Followed by Rocket City in lane 2, Diane Winters. Rounding out the pack, lane 4, Carnegie Lakes, Rose Ford.
Rocket City! Come on, Diane, give it everything you got. Go, Diane! Go, Diane!
And that's Amy from Dallas, pulling hard to the finish. And the signature yellow, worn by Diane Winters of Rocket City. Rounding out the women's lightweight C category, Rose Ford of Carnegie Lake. Already underway is the men's lightweight single in the C category. Lane 2, Leander. Lane 3, Greater Columbus B. Lane 4, Greater Columbus A. And lane 5, Malta. Out to an early lead. Reg Wilson of Leander. This is a men's lightweight category race featuring athletes all weighing in under 160 pounds. They're entering the last 250 meters, folks, and these guys are moving. We've got Reg out in front from Leander. Boy, but we've got a battle between the rest of the categories. We've got two boats from Greater Columbus in lanes 3 and 4, and Malta out there in lane 5. Who's it going to be, folks? We've got Malta putting on the sprint here in the last 250 meters. Can he gain? It's Malta versus Leander here for gold and silver as they come up to the finish line. Can Leander hold them off? He checks as he approaches the finish line. Oh, that is too close for gold and silver. And that's close between both Columbus boats for the third place. Holy cow, folks. Wow. Great racing in the men's lightweight boat. That's one that you'll have to check out the Shimano results tent to see who placed first, second, third. Hey, let's check out the total points here. Over the first 3 days, we've talked about Potomac, Minneapolis, and Saugatuck. Potomac showing some really strong racing in the men's front, dominating in the points category, 444 over 290. Minneapolis second place in the men's and first place in the women's category. We've seen some really strong rowing today from the Minneapolis women. We just saw the quad do very well not that long ago. Minneapolis 480 points, but not trailing far behind with Saugatuck. All right, now underway, we've got the Women's Open 8 in the A category. Exciting start here. Lane 2, capital A. Lane 3, CRI. Lane 4, capital A. Excuse me, lane 2 was capital B. Lane 4, capital A. Lane 5, Chicago. Lane 6, Lincoln Park. Chicago out there in lane 5, starting to take the lead. Early on in the race, they've got 6 seats over lane 4, capital A. Capital A in lane 4. That's lane 5, Chicago and capital A battling it out for first and second. They're past the halfway mark. It's getting serious here between Chicago and capital A as they start to edge out the rest of the pack. Coming into the red sprint zone. That's lane 5, Chicago in the black, capital A, sporting the red, white, and blue in lane 4. And it is a tight race here, folks. Chicago about half a boat over capital A. Lincoln Park out there showing strong in 6th. That's first, second, third. We got CRI sporting red in lane 3 and capital B in lane 2. But Chicago starting to pull away here in the sprint. At the end of the race, Chicago, Lincoln Park pulling up on Capitol. Oh, we've got a battle for second now. Battle for second. Lincoln Park putting on the gas. Can Capital A hold them off? Capital A looks like they're picking it up. Pulling back from Lincoln Park and edging. Oh, exciting finish there. Looked like Chicago and capital A and Lincoln Park in the Women's Open 8. Great racing there by all participants. Now underway. Men's heavyweight. This is the men's heavyweight pair. We've got 3 boats in this race. Lane 3, Potomac. Lane 4, Riverfront Recapture. And lane 5, Texas. Keep an eye on that lane 3, Potomac. They try and rack up more points, both in the men and overall categories. It's going to be fun to watch how the day shakes out between Potomac, Minneapolis, and Saugatuck, all in the hunt for the points trophy. This is a AA category race. Average ages of the participants ranging between 24 and 26 in this race. Halfway through the race, showing dominance, is the signature red with white star of Potomac. That's Potomac out there, showing strong in the men's heavyweight pair. Potomac's really leaving it all out on the water there in the last 150 meters of the race. That's Potomac crossing the finish line in the pair. Pair, a sweet boat, the smallest of the sweet boats, with one oar per rower. That's Riverfront Recapture out there in the far lane. Excuse me, that was Texas out there in the far lane, followed by Riverfront Recapture in lane 4. Potomac, Texas, and Riverfront Recapture in the AA category pair. Up next is the A category pair in the men's heavyweight division. Lane 2, St. Louis. Lane 3, Austin. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lane 5, Austin B. Off like a rocket out of the start is lane 4, Lincoln Park.
Now crossing the halfway mark in lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park maintaining a strong lead as they enter the final quarter of the race. Lincoln Park looking strong as they approach the finish. In lane 4, Lincoln Park. In lane 3, Austin. Followed by lane 5, Austin B. In lane 2, St. Louis. Just off the start now, event number 173, the Women's Open Pair, B category. In lane 2, Ann Arbor. Lane 3, Austin. Lane 4, Mendota. Lane 5, Baltimore. And in lane 6, Chinook. And Baltimore with an early half-shell lead in the first 120 meters of the race. Now entering the final quarter of the race in the Women's Open Pair. Baltimore has the edge in lane 5. Right behind them in lane 6, Chinook. closing in on the finish. And Baltimore in lane 5. Chinook in lane 6. The women's open pair. Third to cross the finish in lane 4. Mendota, followed closely by Ann Arbor. Now up to the start. Event number 174. The men's lightweight double in the A category. In lane 3, Lincoln Park. And in lane 4, Greater Daytona. Lane 4 has the edge coming out of the gate. Greater Daytona.
I have the opportunity to be sitting here with Matt Michaels of Gravel Bottom Brewery. Matt, tell us a little bit about Gravel Bottom.
Gravel Bottom is really a brewery designed to be quite a... Is that better? Gravel Bottom is designed to be a brewery where you can really experience the sport. We've got our small brew system there where we brew a lot of special batches. It's just like the different strokes. We're able to really brew whatever we want when we want to. And often we like to bring people in and help us out and give them the experience of brewing there on site with us.
So at Gravel Bottom, it's really about the experience that differentiates you guys. Talk a little bit about the experience here today in the park.
Oh, yeah. So for today, we actually brought a small brew house with us. We'll brew about 10 gallons of beer here on site. We've already got that started. It's going to be a lavender lemon pale ale.
Ooh.
Should be good.
Exciting, yeah. Refreshing and calming at the same time over there in the beer garden. Now, where is your brewery located for folks from out of town if they want to go try it out?
Yeah, it's right in Ada, Michigan. So the easiest way for the folks here to get there would be to head east on 96 and catch 21. And right at 21 and Ada Drive in Ada, you'll see our brewery off to the right.
Great. Be sure to look them up online, folks, and check them out in the beer garden. They've got some great merchandise over there. What kind of things are you guys selling over there?
Oh, we've got a lot of stuff. There's people wanting to take some swag home, so we brought some glasses and some T-shirts and stuff.
Great, perfect. Glad to have Matt Michaels here from Gravel Bottom Brewery. Thanks a lot, you guys, for all your hard work and the different strokes.
All right, thank you.
Coming to the finish here, the men's lightweight double. That's Greater Dayton in lane 4, crossing the finish line. Justin Till, Lincoln Park. In the men's lightweight double A category.
Now aligning at the north end of our race course on the Grand River. Event number 175, the men's heavyweight straight 4. This is categories B and C. The straight 4 is a coxless 4 sweep boat. In this event, in lane 2, Saugatuck. Lane 3, Virginia. Lane 4, Potomac. And lane 5, Riverfront Recap. And they're off. Off to the start of the race. Very close competition here. Slight edge to lane 2 Saugatuck. Lane 4 Potomac. Remember, folks, this is a straight 4 sweep boat with no coxswain. They're on their own out there to make sure they stay in their lanes.
Even without a coxswain, Rob, that start was spicier than a habanero and sweeter than a mango. Speaking of mango habanero, Buffalo Wild Wings is the place for wings, beer, and sports. It's the ultimate place to gather with family and friends. Buffalo Wild Wings, a fun atmosphere with wings.
You know what I like to do at Buffalo Wild Wings?
What do you like to do, Rob?
I like to figure out how many different sauces I can burn my tongue with.
That's always a great time.
We got a battle going on here in the men's heavyweight straight 4. In lane 2 Saugatuck, at the halfway point, is 1 seat ahead of lane 4 Potomac, which is only 1 seat ahead of lane 3 Virginia. What's going to happen in the last half of this race? Who's going to pour it on?
Boy, it really looks like, from what we see here, from where I'm sitting, it looks like lane 2, Saugatuck. They've got that 7 bow marker on. Boy, you know what I like to do when I'm at Buffalo Wild Wings, Rob?
No, what do you like to do, Jordan?
I like to make fun of my friends. Every once in a while, I serve up an Asian zing. But that's Saugatuck in lane 2, pulling strong.
Trying to extend their lead in lane 2 Saugatuck. We still got a bit of a pack here in the front.
Potomac holding strong out there in lane 4 in second. So it's Saugatuck and Potomac.
And these guys are fighting for points as well.
Saugatuck crossing first over Potomac.
And lane 3, Virginia.
When we talk about the points, this race might contribute to a little bit of a shakeup, Rob.
That's right.
You know, Saugatuck in third place in the points, edging out over Potomac, who at the end of yesterday was in the lead in the overall points.
Coming up next, event number 176, the men's heavyweight straight 4 in the G and H categories. Lane 3, Composite. Lane 4, Saugatuck. Lane 5, San Diego. And they're off. Straight 4 blind boats. Off to a jump start here in the first 100 meters. Pulling away strong in lane 3, a composite boat with the Detroit Boat Club. Average age of this boat, 65. These guys are crushing it.
In the past couple of days, we've talked a lot about the Detroit Boat Club. Being the oldest boat club in the United States, this year celebrating their 175th anniversary. Congratulations to the Detroit Boat Club.
Detroit Boat Club looking strong in this straight four. Midway down the course now. Detroit Boat Club Composite in lane 3 and Saugatuck in lane 4. Both category G boats. And in lane 5, San Diego, a category H. Now entering the last 250 meters, the Detroit Boat Club composite boat in lane 3. Crossing the finish in lane 3, the Detroit Boat Club composite boat.
Really nice to see a boat that's smitten with the mitten come across the line first.
Here comes Saugatuck in lane 4, followed closely by San Diego in lane 5. Lane 4, Saugatuck. And in lane 5, San Diego. We're off to the start for event number 177, the Women's Open Straight 4. This is a C category boat. In lane 2, Minneapolis. Lane 3, CRI. Lane 4, Bayvere. Lane 5, a composite boat with CRRC.
Keep your eye on that Minneapolis boat in lane 2. A lot of strong rowing coming out of the women in green. Competing for the overall trophy. It's a tight pack at the 500-meter mark, but Minneapolis making a move here. Lanes 4 and 5, Bever and CRRC.
Separated by only a couple feet. Here they come, entering the last quarter of the course.
By boat, we've got Minneapolis in front, Bever in second, and the composite boat in lane 5. See the bow seat from Minneapolis checking the status of the rest of the boats as they sprint to the finish here. All comes down to this. Definitely lanes 4 and 5 within attacking distance of first place Minneapolis. And the composite boat, lane 5, putting it on. Will it be enough? Oh, Minneapolis able to hold out. But the composite boat coming in second with Bever in lane 4.
And props to CRI in lane 3 with a much older age category still entering in this event. Now off the start, event number 178, the men's lightweight single in the H category.
In lane 3, we have Upper Peninsula, represented by Davis. Lane 4, St. Louis, represented by Cook. In lane 5, Atlanta. Oh. Lane 5, Atlanta, a scratch for this race. So we've got lane 3, Upper Peninsula, and lane 4, St. Louis.
Lane 4, St. Louis, Cook now crossing the halfway mark.
Seven-year-old Cook looking very poised in this last half of the race. What I like to feel as calm as Cook looks out there, I head to the Speakeasy Lounge, which is known for their classic cocktails, tasty infusions, and plenty of craft beers. It doesn't stop there. For all you foodies nearby, you'll be delighted to find delicious, fresh, and price point friendly foods. You'll even have a chance to try featured sandwiches, signature sauces, and tasty pasta dishes. Drop by the Speakeasy Lounge at 600 Monroe today.
Now in the home stretch, lane 4, St. Louis, Cook.
That's Cook crossing the finish line for St. Louis. Chuck Cook. Well done.
Age 70.
Still on the course. Daryl Davis from the UP.
You know what we got here, Jordan?
What do we have, Rob?
My favorite kind of race.
What's your favorite kind of race, Rob?
6 lanes of 8s.
6 lanes of 8s.
Event number 179, the Women's Open 8.
A lot of composite boats in this race, Rob.
Lane 1, composite with MSTRS. Lane 2, composite, BRC. Lane 3, Saugatuck. Lane 4, Upper Peninsula. And lane 5 and 6, composite boats with CRRC.
Rob, what does it mean to be a composite boat?
Well, we've got 2 kinds of events here, Jordan. We have club events and composite events. And in club events, you can only enter, everybody in your boat has to be from the club, including the coxswain, and live within 50 miles. If it's not a club event, then you can have composite boats. But composite boats do not count towards point total trophies. In this event, lanes 1 and 2 in the G category, and lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the F category.
They're just crossing the halfway point at the 500-meter mark.
Out in front, lane 6. A composite boat with CRRC and moms.
Boy, that composite lane 6, as they enter the sprint here, has some open water over the rest of the pack. They're trailed by the composite in lane 5. And then that's Saugatuck. That's Saugatuck battling the composite in lane 2. Lane 2 in the yellow and Pocker boat. But way out in front. Lane 6. A composite with CRRC. Crossing first. Another composite. Lane 5. That's composite in lane 2. Edging out Saugatuck.
Crossing now in lane 4, Upper Peninsula. Off the start, event number 180, the Men's Club 4. This is the F category. Out in the lead, lane 5, San Diego. We still have open seats on our free shuttle bus to the airport, leaving at 3 o'clock. Shuttles also available at 4 and 5 p.m. If you need to bug out for a flight, stop by the volunteer tent, sign up for one of our free seats. Free shuttle to the airport, 3 p.m., 4 p.m., and 5 p.m. First come, first served. They're limited, folks. Sign up now at the volunteer tent.
If I were an athlete and knew that I could get a free shuttle out to the airport, I think I might watch a couple more races here from the beer garden. Check out Gravel Bottom Brewery there in the beer garden, doing a homebrew demonstration. And pick up some Gravel Bottom gear. If you like different strokes, their collaborative beer with the Grand Rapids Rowing Association, be sure to tell them so. Gravel Bottom Brewery in Ada.
You know, I don't want any of you beautiful people to leave here today. But we do have about 20 seats open on each of those shuttles. Free transportation. Don't pass it up at the volunteer tent.
That's lane 5. San Diego in the Stay Classy Red 4.
Remember, you can share information about this regatta on social networks using the hashtag USMastersChamps. Share your photos, your tweets, all the good stuff happening out there.
Staying classy across the finish line, San Diego. Followed by Detroit. Rounding out the pack, St. Louis in lane 3.
Up at the starting line. The flag is up, and it's down. They're off for event number 181, the Women's Open Quad. In lane 2, San Diego. In lane 3, Composite CPR. In lane 4, Minneapolis. And in lane 5, MSTRS. Off to an early jump. The composite boat in lane 3 with CPR.
Mom's right there. In the middle.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hey. You wanna walk down this way?
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the next hour and 30 minutes, Rolleiflex Fitness Muscle Rollers will be $5 off for customers. Limited supply available, so be sure to check out the Rolleiflex Fitness tent and get $5 off your purchase of a Rolleiflex Muscle Roller. Great for muscle recovery after the regatta. Hurry while supplies last.
Down in the vendor village, Rolleiflex Fitness. That's lane 3, a composite with CPR. This is the last 250 meters. The women's open quad in the D category. They're sprinting here, moving quickly. Lane 3, the composite with CPR. Masters coaching out there in lane 5. That's lane 3, the composite CPR. Followed by Masters coaching, lane 5. And Minneapolis, in lane 4. San Diego, lane 2, crossing the finish line. Already underway, a fast start in the men's heavyweight 4 in the D category. A lot of composite boats entered in this race. Got a composite with Minneapolis in lane 1. Lane 2, FWRC. Lane 3, Austin. Lane 4, WRRA composite. Lane 5, a VAN composite. And lane 6 is a Chicago composite with Chicago Training and Lincoln Park. These quads are hauling. This is the men's heavyweight quad in the D category. D category featuring average ages between 50 and 54. Quad being the largest sculling boat entered in these events. Sculling means each rower has 2 oars. Featured in singles, doubles, and quads. Lane 2. The composite boat, led by stroke seat Brad Whitehead, pulling strong away from the rest of the pack. Lane 2, an interesting boat. You see 4 different teams represented, as you can see through on their oar blades. Despite being from different clubs, these men are really coming together here as they enter the last 250 meters to sprint it home. With less than 250 meters left, in second place, we have the composite led by stroke seat John Jablonic. That crew sporting green in lane 1. But lane 2, really moving here, folks. That's a composite led by Whitehead in the stroke seat. See him glancing at the other boats as they approach the finish. And that's all she wrote, folks. That's lane 1 crossing in second place. And the composite in lane 5. Men's heavyweight quad in the D category. Fast racing out of the men's heavyweight quad.
Now over at the north end of the course, aligning for event number 183, the Women's Open Single in the B category. In lane 1, St. Catharines. Lane 2, Texas Rowing. Lane 3, BIAC. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lane 5, Greater Columbus. If you haven't done so yet, be sure to stop by the Boathouse Sports Tent to get your regatta t-shirt. If you didn't get a t-shirt for the regatta, how do you know it even happened?
Quite frankly, Rob, if you don't get a t-shirt, you weren't there.
Heads up for those of you looking for the 3 p.m. airport shuttle. Your coach has arrived. It's down by the finish line near Boat Launch 1. The 3 p.m. airport shuttle has arrived down at the finish line. Get there now. Get your free ride to the airport.
Now off to the races, the Women's Open Single in the B category. Lane 1, St. Catharines. Lane 2, Texas Rowing. Lane 3, BIAC. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. And Lane 5, Greater Columbus. Really strong starts by lanes 3 and 4. Lane 3, BIAC. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lane 3, BIAC. Chow really pulling away from the pack early on. That's Chow in the lead. Crossing the 500-meter mark, representing BIAC. She is moving. That's Chow out there in the lead. Followed by lane 4, Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park represented by Shuttleworth. Got a battle for third there. Greater Columbus out in the far lane. That's Chow cruising home in the finals in the women's open single. That's Chow taking it, representing BIAC in lane 3. Not far behind. Lane 4, Lincoln Park. Greater Columbus in lane 5.
That's Texas Rowing in lane 2.
Up next, we've got the men's Club 4 race in the B category. Exciting race here. Looks like they're already crossing the 500-meter mark with Potomac out in front. The other lanes in this
Heading down the course now, event number 187, women's lightweight double in the A category.
Now viewing lane 5, Winnipeg. That's lane 5, Winnipeg, crossing the finish line.
Lane 2, the composite boat of ATL. Followed by lane 4, CRI. Now heading down the course, event number 188, the Women's Club Quad in the D category. In lane 2, Baltimore. Lane 3, San Diego. Lane 4, Minneapolis. And lane 5, Saugatuck. Sorry for the technical interruption there, folks. Still working on getting power back to the hospitality tent. We'll let you know as soon as it's returned.
We've talked a lot about the points totals here. At the end of yesterday's competition, Potomac in the lead, Saugatuck, or Minneapolis in second, Saugatuck in third. That's the overall points. Minneapolis leading the women's points. That's Minneapolis in lane 4, sporting the signature green.
Crossing the halfway mark, San Diego's in the lead in lane 3. In lane 2, Baltimore, followed by lane 4, Minneapolis. The video feed is now live in the hospitality tent for your viewing pleasure.
We're in the final sprints here. Baltimore putting on the push here in the finish.
Big sprint for Baltimore.
Big sprint for Baltimore, passing San Diego in the final 150 meters. That's Baltimore. Followed by San Diego. And lane 4, Minneapolis. The Women's Club D4.
In lane 5, Saugatuck. Colorado Rowing with the Atlanta Rowing Club. Rowing makes strange bedfellows.
That's a double entendre, if I've ever heard one, Rob. Well done in the spirit of Sunday Punday. We again apologize for our technical.
Ladies and gentlemen, only 30 minutes left in the Rolleiflex Muscle Roller Sale. For the next 30 minutes, Rolleiflex Fitness Muscle Rollers will be $5 off for customers. Limited supply available, so be sure to go check out the Rolleiflex Fitness tent and get $5 off your purchase of a Rolleiflex Muscle Roller. Great for muscle recovery after the regatta. Hurry while supplies last.
So in lane 5, that's Potomac. In lane 4, Dallas. You know, we've talked a lot about the Potomac men here, but the Potomac women showing strong at the 500-meter mark.
And it's a battle with Dallas and Potomac. They're going back and forth, back and forth.
It's a stroke-for-stroke race here, Rob. And we've done a lot of talking about that points race. And there sits Minneapolis in lane 1. Let's see if they've got any gas left in the tank to make that critical move here in the last part of the race. This is a C category race with boat average age being between 43 and 49.
Entering the red zone now. Starting to see an uptick in the stroke rate.
Oh, this is some really exciting action that we have here. These boats are close.
We got a flotilla coming down the river.
Cheer them on and watch them, watch them, watch them. If you're watching from the beer garden right now, check them out on the river as Potomac is putting it on in lane 5. Lane 6, Marin, staying strong as well. Dallas in lane 4 still in the pack. Let's not forget about Minneapolis in lane 1.
It's a fight for the medals now as they approach the finish.
And this is the sprint. And they're in the tail end. Check out Minneapolis. But Potomac takes it. And it looks like lane 6, Marin.
Followed by Minneapolis in lane 1. Up at the start line now, Event number 194, the men's heavyweight 8 in the C category. In lane 2, capital A. Lane 3, Riverfront Recap. Lane 4, a composite boat with CTC. Lane 5, Composite Atlanta. And lane 6, Potomac.
Really fast start out of these 8s. Rob, I know how you like the 6 lanes of 8s. This is 5 lanes of 8s. And boy, it's getting exciting already.
This is pretty good, and there's some very tight action here in the first 250 meters of the race. A razor-thin edge in lane 4 with the CTC composite boat, but these guys are all right on top of each other.
That's the Potomac men out there in lane 6 with the red and signature white star.
Approaching the midway point of the race. It's a duel between lane 6 Potomac and lane 4 the composite boat CTC. Lane 6 is ahead by 2 seats.
But lane 4 looking long and strong. Looks like we're really going to have a battle here for 3rd place too. Going stroke for stroke. Lane 2 and lane 3. Capital A and Riverfront Recapture. This afternoon, they're all finals, folks. This is for the medals.
That's a lot of rowers.
And they're entering the last 250 meters, the red zone, the sprint zone. Let's see what they can do. Look at Potomac picking up the stroke right there.
Lane 4 now 1 boat length behind. It's going to be a battle for 3rd.
Yeah, 3rd place. Lanes 2 and 3, Capital A and Riverfront Recapture really going at it against each other.
Those guys are neck and neck.
And they are right next to each other. They can see each other.
Don't look to your side.
Yeah, keep it rowing.
Keep that head in the boat. Lane 6 crosses the finish, Potomac. Followed by lane 4 in the composite boat.
The real
CTC.
race here. Here it comes. Oh, and it looks like Riverfront Recapture just edges out
man,
Capital A.
By like 2 feet.
Wow.
That was close.
What a race for 3rd place. Of course, all official results are at the Shimano results tent.
Now crossing in lane 5, the composite boat with ATL. Up at the start, event number 195, the Women's Open Single in the A category. In lane 1, Lincoln Park. Lane 2, Rocky Mountain. Lane 3, Minneapolis. Lane 4, BIAC. In lane 5, CRI. And in lane 6, Toledo.
I'd like to point out lane 4, BIAC Chow. Been racing very well today. This is the A category race. Technically Chow, a B category rower. But I think she might fare well in this A category, judging by the way she's been rowing today, Rob.
This A category race, typically for rowers aged 27 to 35. And they're off. In the Women's Open Single A category.
You know, with this being her second final. This would be her fourth time out on the water, having been in heats for the other singles races as well. And she's out to an early lead.
She's out in front by half a boat length.
She's still got it in her. That's Chow from BIAC, pulling hard. Also looking good is Natalie Dustman from Rocky Mountain in lane 2. All right, and here comes Natalie Chow into the red zone. Last 250 meters of the race. The final sprint to the finish here. And she's looking strong. Lots of open water on the rest of the pack. Lane 2, Natalie Dustman, Rocky Mountain. Featuring the nice red cap. And then Minneapolis in lane 3. Let's remember Minneapolis in it for the points trophy today. Strong showing from the Minneapolis men and women. At the end of yesterday, Minneapolis leading the women's category in the overall points. But it's all Chow as she approaches the finish line. Nice day of racing for Chow.
Completely dominating the younger category. In lane 2, Rocky Mountain, Dustman. Lane 3 of Minneapolis, Miller. Crossing now in lane 5 from CRI, Sheehan. And in lane 6 from Toledo, Lada Landerfeld. In lane 1 from Lincoln Park, Mink. And now taking off, event 196, the men's heavyweight 4. In lane 1, CRU. Lane 2, Lincoln Park. Lane 3, Virginia. Lane 4, Potomac. Lane 5, San Diego. And in lane 6, Lincoln Park. Hey, Jordan.
Yeah, Rob.
We've got a special guest with us here as we watch this men's heavyweight 4 cross the halfway point in the race.
We certainly do. We are very happy to be sitting here with the mayor of Grand Rapids, George Hartwell. How are we doing today, George?
Hey, gentlemen, isn't this fantastic? I'll tell you, what a day to be out on the river.
Oh, it's beautiful. Thanks for ordering the weather, George.
Yeah, weather was my responsibility, of course, and I think so far you'd have to say I've done pretty well. Wind isn't too bad. The clouds keep it a little bit on the cool side. I think it's a pretty good day for rowing.
Great course, too. Hey, George, can you tell us a little bit about what an event like this means to West Michigan?
Well, this is huge for us here in Grand Rapids and in all of West Michigan. Being able to host a national regatta here on our Grand River is just a fantastic opportunity.
Hey, George, I'm going to cut you off for just a minute as we've got an exciting race coming down. Wow, look at Potomac out there in the far lane, lane 4, and we've got Lincoln Park. Lincoln Park in lane 2.
Virginia in lane 3. It's
All
a
in
tight pack
contention here.
heading to the finish.
And this is for points, folks, and they're sprinting. Who's got the push? It looks like Potomac.
It's a battle for second.
Oh, but Lincoln Park able to pull it out. Taking a commanding lead over Virginia.
Lincoln Park pouring on the
Whoa!
gas.
Lincoln
Holy
Park!
cow!
Lincoln
They're first
Park!
to first.
Oh,
my
my
God!
goodness!
They jumped from third to first in the last few meters of the race.
Oh, but that was a photo finish, Rob. I don't know. I don't know.
That was an amazing
Oh, man,
finish.
Lincoln Park.
What a performance by Lincoln Park.
Wow. Wow. Hey, where can they check out the official results, Rob?
You know, they really should stop by the Shimano tent in the vendor village because that's where all of your official results can be found.
Hey, but we've got something going on here in the announcer's booth, too. We're very excited to be here with Mayor George Harwell, who just got to see a really exciting finish.
Wow, that was amazing.
Yeah, George, you were saying what an event like this means to Grand Rapids.
Yeah, to be able to host an event like this, for the community to come together and raise the funding that's necessary to put this on, for our Grand Rapids Rowing Club to step forward and do such a phenomenal job here, organizing 250 volunteers over the course of this regatta. I am very, very proud of our city.
Thanks a lot, George. That was Grand Rapids' very own mayor, George Hartwell.
Heading down the course now, event number 197, Category E, the Men's Club Quad Final. In lane 3, San Diego. Lane 4, Saugatuck. Lane 5, Wyandotte. Midway down the race now. In lane 4, Saugatuck. In the Men's Club Quad.
We're watching the last few events of the day. Great spot is the beer garden.
I wish I was there.
One thing the Grand Rapids area does very well is beer.
And not just any old beer. Craft beer, specially brewed in fine batches, small batches.
Small batches just for us rowing folk. How about that? Gravel Bottom Brewery, different strokes. Looking sharp as they approach the finish line are the quads. The men's club quads. That's lane 4, Saugatuck. Those sure aren't different strokes being taken there, Rob.
No, they're pretty well in sync now in this quad.
And that's Saugatuck in lane 4. Well done, men from Saugatuck. Followed by San Diego in lane 3. Rounding out the crowd, Wyandotte, lane 5.
Up next, event number 197, category F, the Men's Club Quad. In lane 1, Detroit. Lane 2, Minneapolis. Lane 3, Texas Rowing. Lane 4, Western Reserve. Lane 5, Saugatuck. And lane 6, Fort Worth.
This will be an exciting race. 6 lanes of quads in the F category. F category ranges 60 to 64.
And they're off.
Points are up for grabs here, folks. One of the big points contenders, Minneapolis in lane 2, also a points contender, Saugatuck, lane 5.
We've got a tight race early on. Lane 1, Detroit, and lane 2, Minneapolis.
You know, we've said it before, but I can't say it enough. How about the Detroit Boat Club celebrating their 175th anniversary? If you see a member from the Detroit Boat Club, be sure to tell them congratulations. For all those out there taking the 4 o'clock shuttle, it's here by the parking lot at the finish line. The 4 o'clock shuttle to the airport. Courtesy of your local organizing committee. Passing the 500-meter mark, we've got the Club Quads and the Detroit Boat Club representing out there in the lead.
The 4 o'clock shuttle has arrived. If you signed up for the 4 o'clock shuttle to the Grand Rapids Airport, head down to near the finish line, past registration, our boat launch run to grab your shuttle, the 4 o'clock shuttle to the Grand Rapids Airport.
In the last 200 meters, the sprint zone, we've got the Detroit Boat Club bow to stern with Minneapolis, followed by Texas Rowing. Strong showing here from the Minneapolis men. You know, we've done a lot of talking about the Minneapolis women, but the Minneapolis men here in lane 2 showing strong. Can they make a push for that first place spot? Detroit Boat Club lane 1 in the blue tank tops. Lane 2, Minneapolis with the green. And it looks like that's all the finish, folks. Detroit Boat Club, Minneapolis, but who's it going to be for third? Texas Rowing holds out for third place in the men's club quad F category. Crossing the finish line, we saw Fort Worth. Saugatuck crossing now. And that's Western Reserve in purple. Already on the course. we've got the men's club quad in the G through J categories. See two boats featured here. Lane 3, Dallas. Lane 4, San Diego. Lane 3, Dallas in the G category with an average age of 68. Lane 4, San Diego in the H category, average age 73. The 4 o'clock shuttle to the airport is about to depart.
Checking out our points trophies. Current results. The efficiency trophy. Currently in first place, the Winnipeg Rowing Club.
Wow, congratulations, Winnipeg.
By a wide margin. The day's not over yet, of course, folks, but
yeah,
these are the current standings.
Well, and the efficiency is an interesting calculation. How does that work, Rob?
So the efficiency divides the number of points you've won by the number of competitors you have, so that you're how many points are you winning per competitor.
So each rower from Winnipeg making it count in the last 4 days of the Masters Nationals.
Currently in the men's point trophy,
drum roll please,
crushing it in first place, the Potomac Boat Club. In the women's point trophy, our current leader, the Minneapolis Rowing Club.
Oh, we still have Potomac and Minneapolis keeping it interesting here.
And the overall points trophy may be a battle as the day goes on. The current leader, the Potomac Boat Club.
Looking strong out there, Potomac. But we have a kind of a surprise there in second place, Rob. Staying classy all day in both the men and women's category. We have San Diego taking the second spot in the overall points trophy. And in third place, and still in contention, is Minneapolis.
Nick Davis, your shuttle has arrived. Please head immediately to the finish line area, past registration, past the volunteer tent, to catch your shuttle to the airport. Nick Davies, you've got 1 minute. Gates are closing on this flight.
It's the Lone Star Oars approaching the finish line with Dallas. Making the final push. Over lane 4, San Diego. And that's Dallas. Category G, average age 68. Leading category H, San Diego, with an average age of 73.
Up at the start, we're kicking off the next race. Number 198, the mixed 4 in the D category. Lane 1, Baltimore. Lane 2, Composite, SDRC. Lane 3, Capital. Lane 4, East Arm. Lane 5, Composite. And Lane 6, Ann Arbor.
We're down to the last 2 events of the day, folks. So get down to the beer garden to watch these final races. Sure to see some exciting finishes here, Rob.
An early jump in this event by East Arm and Ann Arbor.
This is a mixed 4 in category D. Category D, average age of boat between 50 and 54.
We're so happy you came here to Riverside Park in Grand Rapids to enjoy this event. Hope you had a great time as we watch these last couple races. As you clean up your shell area, please be sure to put trash in its place. We very much appreciate it. As our team of volunteers will scour the park to return it the way we left it, your help is appreciated. Special thanks to our volunteers who put in a very long week to make this event happen. Thanks, volunteers. It couldn't have happened without you.
On the course, we've got an exciting race. They've passed the 500-meter mark. Lane 4, East Arm, just ahead of Lane 3, Capital A. And Lane 6, Ann Arbor, certainly still in contention. This is definitely a race that's going to come down to the final sprints, Rob. I mean, they are in contention.
Wow.
Right here. It's a good time to get to the shore to watch this exciting finish here, folks.
This is anybody's race.
1, 2, and 3. Really close here. Oh, don't forget about Baltimore in lane 1. Good morning. There they are. East Arm only in front by feet as Capital A is putting on a sprint here.
And they're
Putting on a
closing.
sprint and closing and passing. That's Capital A. Oh, it's neck and neck. Capital A and East Arm going at it here. But who's going to be in third? Ann Arbor, Baltimore. Boy, it's close, Rob.
This is a battle.
This is a battle.
Approaching the finish line now in the mixed 4 D category. Who's going to take it?
I don't know. It's neck and neck. Capital A and East Arm. Capital A and East Arm. Stroke for stroke.
Back and forth, back and forth.
Oh, who's got it in him? Who's got it in him? Oh!
That's a photo finish.
That is absolutely a photo finish. I think we can be confident, though, that third place was taken by Ann Arbor.
That was an
Boy.
amazing race.
Gold and silver between Capital A and East Arm.
Boy, I tell you, as they came up in the last 100 meters, I could see the nose of each boat edging out
ahead.
in front of the other. One, then the other, one, then the other. That could have come down to who was taking a stroke as they crossed the finish line.
Absolutely. A lot of excitement and great racing today. And we've got one more to finish up the day here. It's the mixed quad in the B category. Lane 1, a composite with VAN. Lane 2, Texas Rowing. Lane 3, another composite with GDRA. Lane 4, a composite with LBC. Lane 5, Saugatuck. And Lane 6, Oak Ridge.
An early jump by the composite boats in lane 1 and 3. We've got another close race heading down the river now. Lanes 4, 5, and 6.
A lot of factors in these quads.
Lanes 4 and 5, neck and neck. Lane 3's in it too.
That's lane 4, composite. Lane 5, Saugatuck.
They're across the halfway point. Lane 4, the composite boat ahead by about 3 seats. Lane 3 and 5 in second.
You know, I'm keeping my eye on this composite boat in lane 1, Rob. Looks like they might be edging up for third.
You think that's the sleeper in this one?
I do. The dark horse. Lane 1, the composite boat featuring rowers from Winnipeg. They enter the red zone, the last 250 meters of our last race of the day. Watch them, watch them, watch them. Make some noise, folks, for this mixed quad in the B category. We've got lane 4 out there showing some strength. Their lead being encroached by the composite boat in lane 3 and Saugatuck out there in lane 5. Let's not forget about lane 1, the composite boat with Winnipeg. Lane 4 and lane 5 battling it out here. Lane 5 put on the sprint, gained some ground on lane 4, but lane 4 holding on strong. And here it comes to the finish line, folks. Who's it going to be? Oh, we got lane 3 coming up for second place. Second place against lane 5. Oh, lane 4 takes it, and it's a photo finish for second and third. Wow.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable, the racing we're having today. That was lanes 3 and 5. Lane 5 of the composite boat, Saugatuck, and the composite boat in lane 3. Man. As of 4 p.m. today, the points totals are currently posted on the monitors. Wow. That's first place, Potomac, 735. Second, San Diego, 636. And 3 for Minneapolis.
And how about those women of Minneapolis crushing it for the women's points trophy?
Wow. Really dominant performance from the women of Minneapolis.
Current leaders. And in the men's category, Potomac